Hello, this is Simon Tate, Head of Quality of Prevista, and welcome to Webinar 3, Ofsted Readiness under the Education Inspection Framework. In this webinar, we're going to be covering Ofsted post-notification planning. So looking at when you get that call, how prepared you are for the next steps and the couple of days that you've got to get ready in order to showcase what you do to an Ofsted team. So what happens when you get that call? When you get that call, you've got two options. You can run around with your hands in the air looking panicked, or hopefully you'll agree that you should have a post-notification plan in place that helps you to automate and militarize as much as possible what's about to happen in the few days that you've got to prepare for that Ofsted person turning up on your door, or people. So this is from our own Ofsted notification plan. So you'll generally have a couple of pages. One is this kind of flow chart that shows you what you're going to do when that call comes in, and the next one will be about individualized smart target duties that different departments need to do. So here you can see we've got the initial call, initiating an action plan. You want to get your senior management team together in a war room and get them to prepare and make sure they understand what they need to do, when they need to do it, and what they need to disseminate to their team and achieve within certain timescales. Inform the business. You don't want to wait too long before you inform your tutors what they need to do, because they've got a lot to do on top of the management and senior management teams. What I suggest is that at the end of the day, you arrange a time for the whole senior management team to come back to the war room and look at what's been achieved and put a plan in place, and then replicate what you did on day one, on day two, to make sure that you get as much as possible done. Like I say, page 2 should be about individual duties, and you should have a list of things that different people need to do across the business. Obviously the quality nominee will have a lot to do, but you want to be light on them because they're going to have a lot to do over the coming days. So the quality team needs to be able to do as much as possible and support that preparation. So the quality managers or team leaders, whatever your structure is, will need to be ensuring that you've got accurate collated observations of teaching, learning, assessment, IQA records are up to date, so on. Even like your HR person will need to make sure that you've got accurate DCS records and CVs and up-to-date CPD logs, or whoever collects that in your business. Your administrative team, make sure that rooms are booked and refreshments. It needs to be that specific. So this slide's about what your tutors need to know, what I feel your tutors need to know, and hopefully you'll agree in prep. So first of all, tutors need to know that they might have to cancel some visits before the Ofsted visit. I mean, there are, I assume, some outstanding providers out there who don't have anything they need to improve on, but for all the will in the world, as an organisation, there's usually things that you need to do to polish the things that you can polish to give you the best appearance for an Ofsted inspection. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or haven't got things in place, but make sure it is the best that you can present. Informal learners and employers. So that I've put there pre-prepared Ofsted briefs. That's something that I recommend as a business. Just summarise the things that you have done, the things that you do for learners, just so it's fresh on their mind. If you listen to webinar 2, there are plenty of cases of people not knowing that they're on an apprenticeship. They were signed up to an apprenticeship and they've known the word apprenticeship. Get them to make sure that they realise they're on an apprenticeship. Give them a briefing of what you do, what enrichment activities you do, off the job, why you do it. Just give them a little brief, just so that they're ready and tuned for when that call comes. I mean, if you don't do it, they won't say it. If you do it, make sure they know it. Ensure diaries 100% up to date and visible to the Ofsted nominee. That's so key. You don't want to be scrabbling around for opportunities for deploying Ofsted inspectors to places that you might get, up to 7 inspectors, and that's a lot of inspection time. So you need to have a lot of opportunities to send people to different places and to occupy their time to see the good things you do. Provide the Ofsted nominee with intel on the sessions you're most eager for Ofsted to attend. So if you know that you've got sessions that are outstanding, you might be putting in your self-assessment report that you're good, but show them the outstanding. Make sure you're aware of what is outstanding and give yourself the opportunity for an upgrade in that inspection. Make sure you get all the details that are required, from date, address, learner name. You can see it there in blue. And make sure your tutors polish their lesson plans. Go through them. Make sure you review any lesson plan that's going to be put in front of an Ofsted inspector. It should be a given anyway that it happens, and you've got a quality department and internal quality assurance methods in place to sample stuff, but 100% sample what's going on in the Ofsted inspection. Provide a list and contact details of employers and your learners who you feel will best communicate good work you do for phone calls. Again, they're going to want to make a lot of phone calls. There's anecdotal evidence that, and more than anecdotal evidence, that inspectors are speaking to 60% of learners, that regardless of provision. So that's hundreds of learners. So make sure that you get the best people that can talk about your business at the forefront and do that preparation with the rest of them. Goes without saying, select your best portfolios, get stuff that you can use as a showcase, stick it at the front and back it up with stuff that you're very proud of, and back it up with everything that you can to show that is recorded and does the good stuff that you do. Again, I've got their strong initial and mid IAG. Make sure that you are recording the impact of learning and recording where the barriers are being overcome, and recording whether what you're delivering is sending that learner towards their desired outcome, aspiration from career and wider society. Update your CPD logs and CVs. Make sure all that's held centrally so that you can show it to an inspector at short notice. Get your portfolios up to date. All tutors often are playing a little bit of catch up because of the nature of the schedules. Make sure that if you get them to cancel a day's training, get them to get those things that they have done up to date. And obviously IQAs need to get their IQA planning up to date. If you've missed any learners, go through with a fine tooth comb, make sure you've got that formative IQA. And of course, tell them that they need to roll their sleeves up, be ready to do what they're asked. Nobody wants to do it, but sometimes you need to work above and beyond, and Ofsted is so important to you as a business, and it is a reflection of what you do. So if you can polish things, do it now is my first recommendation, but also doubly polish when it comes to the actual call. So if you have any feedback, questions on this session, here's my email address, simont@prevista.co.uk. I hope you found this useful, and if you need any more support from our team, we're here to help you.